Alright everyone, hello again. We're gonna, in this tutorial, we're gonna be going over getting to know the engine more and getting ourselves comfortable with it a little bit. And I just want you to just go to Epic Games and launch it from there. Or as I said, just create a desktop shortcut from there and just go straight from there. So in this case, here again, launch it from here, or just create a shortcut and just launch it from the shortcut as we have on a desktop. And once you're in the engine, I just want you to go to the games tab, or if you're there, that's okay. We're gonna create a new blank project and put it as Blueprint. This time we're not gonna go work with C++, and our first little tiny game is gonna be with blueprints, and we're gonna be talking about what blueprints and C++, the difference are and everything later. So just press blueprint blank and just name it something. In this case, I'm gonna be like tutorial 1. Select the location for it again. I would advise you to have a certain location with like Unreal projects in it so you can keep track of your projects, right? So once you create your project, and we're gonna wait for that. Tea is really good, by the way. Um, I've been drinking a lot of tea recently. So once you're in the engine, you're definitely going to be just facing this screen probably, and this sorry, this is the Unreal Engine, and this is the workspace that we're gonna work with for the rest of our tutorial. And I know there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot like the top menus. There are these, and there's like the right tabs. Probably if you have the engine open, or in another way, you have like this open as well, and it's gonna be like really, just really overwhelming. Okay, we're gonna go over all of it today. I mean, at least the most important parts today. So this is the engine, okay, and the one important thing, as you can see here, that's happening is the left side screen, which is this little screen right here, which as you can see, and this is called the viewport. The viewport is our is is the game basically. Everything that's visible in the game, the level, everything is gonna be in the viewport. So I'm gonna be telling you how to go around the viewport, because we need to, once we're making our game, we're gonna be placing actors around like in different locations and all that. So we need to be able to know the locations and go around it, right? So this is the viewport, the left side screen, and the viewport itself has some options, which I'm gonna be telling you again. Don't worry. And the important ones are the movement keys. So I hope you've played games before. If you haven't, it's okay. So with the keys W, A, S, and D, the keys that you usually walk around in games, are the ones you can move around with. However, if I press these now, nothing is going to be happening. So what you need to do is for you to once your mouse is in the viewport, select the right mouse button or the left mouse, doesn't matter which one, but the right one and left one, you're going to see the difference. So once you hold the right mouse button, okay, you hold it, then you can go around with W, A, S, and D. Well, in this, if you're going really slow, you can just speed up and speed down with this middle mouse wheel. All right, so I'm just going to be going down. I'm going to be going up. Here we go. So W, A, S, and D, you can look up just like a normal camera. You can go around, just fly around, have a little flying thing for yourself. Get to know around the engine a little bit more. Just walk around. This is just a default level with a landscape. Don't worry about it. Just you go around. You can go slowly again with the mouse wheel, and or faster. And that's the way we move around the viewport. So if I happen to, for example, want to put a cup of coffee, I mean the cup of tea in this case, in the scene, we just go to this location and then we just drag a cup of coffee or tea here. So that's why we do all this. So we go around, we play around with it. So that's the viewport for us. There's other controls as well, which I'm gonna be telling you. Well, the left mouse button, as you see, if you try to move it up and down, it's not gonna work at all. You're just gonna be going in one direction, so you cannot actually, just like the right mouse button, you cannot look up and down. And all of these you have to, by the way, as I said, hold it. If you click it, it's going to be doing other stuff. Okay, so you need to hold it. You go around with E and Q. E up, Q down. With E and Q, as you have your mouse button down again, you can go around. These are all the movement keys for your in the engine. And after you're good with all that, we're basically done with the viewport. The viewport is this. Obviously, as I said, there are other controls here as well, which in this case, this is working with specific objects and our actors in the scene. So, I'm going to be telling you one thing, and as I said again, so this is the viewport. Everything in our scene is called the actor. Everything in our game that's visible and that is placed in the world and placed in the level is an actor. So it could be anything. It could be from this little ground. It could be this little sky. It could be this little cloud. It could be this location thing that's for the player start. This is basically once we start the game, the player is gonna start the game in this location, and this itself is an actor as well. So it doesn't have to be related to the game itself, but it could be related to the logics of the game, right? So everything in our viewports, everything in our game that's placed in the world is an actor. Okay, remember that. And actors, they all have locations, rotations, and scales. And again, all of these terms are new. We're going to be talking about it, but hopefully you'll get it by the words that I just said. Location, rotation, and scale. All right, that's how it goes basically. So once you move around in the engine, you can select things, and in this case, I'm gonna be, for example, going around selecting this little ground right here, and as you can see, whatever you select gets highlighted. Like if I go here, if I select this gets highlighted. This gets highlighted with the left mouse key. Obviously, you can select it, or just like the normal computer stuff, if you hold down Control, you can what's it called? You can just select multiple things, and as you can see, I have multiple things selected. So that's how you select things, and that's how you get to work around with them. And as you select them, as you can see, there's different arrows popping up. For some people, it's going to be different. For some people, it's going to be this. For some people, it's going to be this. They're all the same. I'm going to be telling you. I mean, they're not all the same, but that once it gets highlighted, that means that actor is selected. So what we have here, as you can see, if you happen to like be going around the engine and pressing different keys, you'll be noticing that probably for you it's different. But this is basically all these three buttons up here. As I said, that's one of the viewport stuff. So what this is that whatever actor we select in the scene, we can get to control. Well, some of them are static like this. You cannot control it. But imagine the player start. That's one of the stuff that we can see. So if you see this arrow, we can just move it around as it is. Like literally, this is very visible, and we can just look around, go next to it, move it around again, just go around it, and that's the location for our actors. We can change them, or we can rotate them, and we can rotate them in different directions, or we can scale them up and down. So in this case, this is not going to be really visible, but it actually is. And we can scale it up and down in different dimensions, or just everything all at once. Again, I'm gonna be talking about all that later. Don't worry about that. So this is the viewport. Again, that's all you need to know about it. And if you happen to wanting to be moving your actors around, there are these options. Once you have them selected, you just go up here and you select the thing you want to do with it, like translate. I want to move it around. I want to rotate it. I want to scale it. And there are shortcut options for it: W, E, and R. W, E, and R. As you can see, so if I press W on this guy and E, you see, you can just get to know it more yourself. Again, these are all new. I keep repeating that because I just want you to just get comfortable with the engine a little bit. And so this is the viewport. We also have the right part, which is actually two panels for now. We can add more later, but these are the important ones. So the outliner, whatever we select here, as you can see, different things will be selected. because there's different actors in our scene. And if I happen to be selecting them from here as well, as you can see, there's going to be different things getting selected. So the outliner is basically the same thing as we're seeing in the viewport, but a whole list of everything in our level, everything. Like if I go up, and if I happen to be in another part of my level, imagine we have a big level, and we want to find where the player start is. You just either search it up from the search bar right there, and you say player start, or if you're just far away, you just look for it, and you just say, okay, player start. And you just double click or whatever, and then you'll find it. You'll know where it is. Or if I go even far away from it, here I know, oh, okay, it's there, and I just go to it, and I'm like, ooh, okay, you're here. Or you can just double click on it, and you'll be right straight into the location of it. So yeah, that's the outliner for us. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And as I said, you can search things up. Like I can search player start from there if I have a big thing, and I can just go there, right? And we have the details panel, obviously, as you can tell. And whatever we select in our scene, we see the details for it. And in this case, again, I'm going to be choosing the player start actor. And there's the details for it. Again, everything in our actor, everything in our scene, has a location, a rotation, and a scale. So in this case, as we play around with W, E, and R, or the location, rotation, scale, if you notice the details panel, if you see on the right side, for example, you see that the red one is differing because of this. We're choosing the x-axis or the red value for this actor. So yeah, pretty simple. I mean, it's probably not simple to you, but I hope you get comfortable with it soon. Just try to play around with the engine more. Okay, there's the rotation and there's the scale. Okay, so what I want you to do is that I want you to stop this video, just pause this video for a sec, and get to play around with the engine a little bit more until you just think it's all good, and we can just talk about the next thing. Just pause this video. Okay, welcome back again. I hope you just got a little bit comfortable with the engine. So as I said, you can move around things, and some things you cannot move around, like this little ground, and some things can be moved around again like this. And yeah, so that's what we have for now. And we also have, for our details panel, obviously, the most ones we're going to be working with is the general section and all in physics. I mean, all is basically everything in this here, but mostly it's going to be general and physics, even though, as I said, we're going to be working with more stuff. But general usually has the location stuff for us, and the physics, we're going to have physics stuff for later on. And yeah, this is pretty simple. Don't try to stress yourself at all, and just try to maybe look at the general tab for each actor and see which ones do they have in common, which ones do they not. Like if I select this player start, the thing that it has in common with this ground is the location, again, because location, rotation, and scale are all properties of every actor in our scene and everything that's visible in our screen. Okay, so yeah, that's what we have, and that's how we got to know the engine more. We also have one more tab here that I'm going to be referring to a lot, which is basically all the assets and everything you have, which is called the content drawer or content browser. In the recent thing, it's called, oh yeah, here we go, it's content drawer or browser, it doesn't matter. So you get to, this is basically all the things you have in your engine. For example, imagine I have an asset, a 3D model of a ball or a cube, and I want to put it in the engine, right? I will drag it off here and I would put it here. And later on, don't worry, we're going to do it. But content browser is the place which all these get handled, and like everything has like a folder, and we have different audio stuff. That's just the starter content, don't worry. We're going to be making our own stuff. This is the output log, pretty simple. You just clear the log, right click, clear log. This will basically show you the errors or whatever log the print stuff you say for debugging the application or whatnot for yourself, which is again pretty simple. I'm going to be going over all these later. And there's some command stuff for the engine itself, which we're not going to look at in this tutorial at all. And again, yeah, The main things were these, and we have different options here. You can play around with them. So if in the perspective, if I go to the top view, I'll get the top view of the whole map and the level. If I go to bottom, I get a bottom view. Left, this is the left view. As you can see, I can see some of these mountains. Or just go to perspective and you'll basically be seeing whatever is visible. That's basically the way you look, the direction you're looking at things, an objective look, like way of looking at things. Like I will be looking at everything in my scene from the right side, right? Or this is the part where you can see your things in the scene in different ways, not different directions. So the lit section is the default one, which we actually can see everything is with. By the way, I'm just with F11. You can full screen, and you can quit out of it. Again, these are all just optional stuff that I'm saying. The main stuff that I said was basically these 3 panels for now. But the F11, just like how you full screen something, it's with F11. As you can see, it's a pretty cool view. And if I happen to select this and go to unlit, you see that there's a lot of other things here. That this is as it says, it's this whole scene without light. So whatever you have on your scene without light, what this would be useful, I would be telling you later. We have wireframe, which is weird. We have detail lighting, reflections. We have so many things. Player collision, and don't worry about that. And the show part, we don't need to look at that for now at all. And yeah, so just as I said, get to know around the engine more. Play around with it. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen if you press something. Just play around. Drag and drop different things. Just what I mean by drag and drop, I mean that's too soon for that, but just play around with different drag and drop. Again, drag and drop. Sorry, drag and change the locations and whatever for your things. And yeah, just for example, again, one thing I'm gonna be telling you is that again, if you play around with it a lot, you're gonna see that the location. So this is how much your location is gonna change, rotation and scale. So if this is in 100, and if I put it in 5,000, right, and if I happen to select my whatever, and I happen to change it, it suddenly changes with 5,000 pixels or whatnot. Say 5,000, just our meters or whatnot. So this is the way the things work. So yeah, that's how it will move, and same with rotation. So I can make sure every single time I rotate, it rotates 10 degrees, or it rotates 45 degrees every time we do it. Or the scale. Again, these are all new. Just get to know the engine more. Play around with it. Any questions, any comments, any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Please, if you want, you can also DM me on Instagram. I would love it if you let me know if there's anything lacking, if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow, because I want to make sure everyone is in the same level and everyone's learning something from this. So yeah, please just let me know. And in the next video, we're gonna be going around making our first little game, and finally actually getting to make something for ourselves instead of just getting to know things more for this time. So yeah, we're done for the lecture for today, and I'll see you for the next video. خب دوستان، فقط یه جنبندی کلی بکنم. داشتم میگفتم که ما داشتیم داشتیم یکم از انجین کلا میگفتیم که چجوری میشه داخلش حرکت کرد. با رایت کلیک و لفت کلیک میشه کلا این ور اون ور چرخید. رایت کلیک که بکنید باش با WASD میشه راه رفت، و با E و Q میشه رفت بالا و پایین، و بعدش هم میشه چیزهای مختلف رو سلکت کرد با کلیک چپ، و میشه خب هر چیزی که توی اکتورمون هست، توی لوکیشن، توی ویو پورت ما هست، یه دونه لوکیشن داره، روتیشن داره و اسکیل داره. اسمشون همونجوری که معلومه، لوکیشن، روتیشن و اسکیل. و گفتم که میتونین با WER توی کیبوردتون، یا این دکمه وقتی که یه چیز سلکت کردین میتونین با این دکمه میتونین چیزاشو تغییر بدین، مثلا لوکیشنشو. این تب راست رو گفتم که هر چیزی که سلکت میکنید هایلایت میشه. اینجا هم توی اوتلاینر براتون میزنه، یعنی من اگه اینو سلکت کنم کناریش برام هایلایت میشه. چیزای مختلف رو سلکت میتونم چند تا رو مختلف سلکت کنم. دیتیلز هم که فقط همون دیتیل های اکترامون رو میگه. مثلا من اگه روی این کلیک کنم دیتیل های این اکتر رو میبینم. تقریبا همه چیزایی که میگفتم همین بود و توی لکچر بعدی هم قراره اولین بازی خودمون رو بسازیم که قرار خیلی کوچولو باشه ولی خیلی چیزا قرار توش یاد بگیریم و ممنون میشم اگه اینستا بهم پیام بدید، کامنت بذارید، ایمیل، هر چی باشه ممنون میشم. هر سوالی هر چی خیلی خوشحال میشم اگه بهم بگید، چون دوست دارم واقعا هممون یه چیزی یاد بگیریم از این و دوست دارم که همه توی یه لول باشن. این برام خیلی مهمه. بعد آره خلاصه امیدوارم فقط خوشتون بیاد از این توتوریال، چون قرار خیلی چیزای ریزی باشه که دوست دارم واقعا تمام تلاشم بکنم که به صورت ساده بگم، چون این سری کانسپتاش برای اونایی که اپلیکیشن های 3D کار نکردن سه‌بعدی یکم قرار سخت باشه. برای همین دارم سعی میکنم چیزها رو خیلی ساده نگه دارم برای همه. اگر کم آرومه از این نظر ببخشید و کلا آره امیدوارم خوب باشه همه چی و ویدیو بعدی همونطور که گفتم قراره اولین بازیمون رو شروع کنیم به ساختن. دمتونم گرم که هستید. روز خوبی هم داشته باشید.